Coach, could you talk about as much as you can about DJ's situation and how long you expect that he might be out, and if he can't play, how much more important Manny and the other guys inside become?
Well, I won't get into much of it because that's an internal deal that's placed upon him, basically from the basketball program. But I will say this is I have a certain expectation of what I think an NC State player should be, and right now he hasn't met that. There is no timetable for his return. He's got some benchmarks that I want him to meet to be able to join the team, and when that happens, he'll be a part of it. If it doesn't, he won't.
And how much more important is Manny and the other big guys become in that situation?
Yeah, I think it's very important. You know, obviously, make no bones about it, DJ was our best returning post guy. That being said, I like what Danny Dixon brings to the table because he's old and got some experience. And then Manny Bates, both of those guys will be huge for us.
Markel obviously drives the bus, and that's fine, and his teammates defer to him. Of that next sort of group of CJ and Devin and Braxton and whoever else you might want to lump in there, do you feel like one of those guys needs to step forward as kind of the number two, or not the second option, but like establish himself as kind of the leader of that particular group?
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to see Braxton Beverly talk a lot. I mean, he doesn't say much, and I think, you know, he's a guy that's been in the program obviously 3 years now and has a chance to obviously be a leader, and that's one of the things that we've talked about. When I recruited him from Hargrave, AW told me, he said, Coach, he's got one weakness, he doesn't talk a lot, and so we're still trying to get him to do that. And then CJ Bryce, he's been with me longer than anybody in the program, and certainly we want some leadership from him. It's always tough when you transfer because you're coming into a program that's already, especially when you transfer from a mid-major conference to a high-major conference, it's always tough to come in and try to be a leader. And I'm saying, hey, you've been here for a couple of years now, we need you to step up. So I would say those two guys.
Kevin, just to follow up on DJ, what is he allowed to do, I guess, with the program right now, and what are you keeping him away from?
Yeah, so right now he's not allowed to do anything basketball related. He's to maintain academics. He's allowed to come in this building and work out, but as far as anything team related, we don't have him involved.
Coach, just want to ask you as well about the new players that you have on this team. Obviously, as you mentioned, you have a lot of grad transfers, but you have some true freshmen coming in too, and then even Atticus Taylor, a guy that's coming in as a grad transfer, but has several years of eligibility from JUCO. You know, just your thoughts on those guys coming in and adding a lot to this team as well.
Yeah, I like when you look at Darion Sebron and Atticus Taylor, I think both of those guys bring a lot of athletic ability to our program, something that we haven't had in the last couple of years, especially with young guys. That being said, they're coming into a program a little different than we've had a couple years ago when I took the job, where we now have veterans. So I expect both of those guys to be able to come in and play, but I wouldn't imagine them being in any type of starter role. I think they can both help us a lot. When you look at, you know, those guys, most times freshmen help you more on the defensive end, or obviously just how hard they play, and I think both of those guys have embraced that.
With Markel going through the draft process and seeing what others think of him, did he come back with maybe a little bit of a chip on his shoulder to show people what he could really do as a senior?
You know, JC, he has played elite basketball. It's been times he had a day about 2 weeks ago that, and I usually am not impressed with my guys in practice, but he was really special. That being said, I do think he has some type of motivation, obviously, after going and working out for a few teams, and that's good for us because, I mean, that kid could be a really good basketball player. He's a veteran on the team. As when we talked about this, I expect a lot from him. I expect him to be a leader both on and off the court, and if we're going to be really good, successful team, which I'm praying that we are, Markel has to be a huge part of that. Good. Thanks, guys.